I just wanted to make a little bit of an announcement about lolcows, and I want to talk about, a little bit about why, you shouldn't dwell too much on what these people do. Um, this more than anything is for people who, who are doing this. Not just, they call it Nofap. I think this gives people a lot of the wrong idea. Not because you should fap or anything, or not because it has anything to do with indulgence, but a lot of people, they don't understand that this is a very, very deep rebuttal process. You know, a rebuttal process that it's going to take time for the mind to completely, you know, adjust to the point where it's no longer lusting after whatever it is that you're lusting after. And what a lot of people might do is they might honestly get curious about their addiction, and they might actually look up certain people who may have a addiction that's very similar. I'd like to say that I went about 34 days, ironically, without relapsing, and relapsed, mostly to some normal stuff, but the very first thing was definitely questionable, and I'm not going to go into what it was because I don't want to trigger anyone, but all these unrealistic things that a lot of people, get themselves into. This is why, if you're on this journey, unless you have a certain amount of strength within yourself, and basically, unless you're practically a brahmachari, an adept, you're getting into dangerous territory by making a life out of focusing on other people, like Christian, like Cyrax, like Dreckenlord, like, Justin RPG. He's one of the worst, and also these, people who have really depraved people, like Curate a Wolf, who's said to have had sex with his own dog. That's pretty fucked up, but you see, it all comes down to this. You see, sex has a certain signal. Doesn't matter what kind of sex you're talking about. It has a certain signal in your brain. It has a certain, you could say, energy, perhaps. It's possible, there's an energy outside of even the realm of the brain, but the most important part is that you understand that this has a certain signal that it, affects the brain. And, when you focus too much on these people, even if you're trying to learn what not to do, ironically, you are exciting those same parts of the brain unless you have a certain tremendous amount of strength within yourself. Because, I'm not saying, you could never make a video about a lolcow or anything like that. I don't really believe in that terminology, but at the same time, I'm not saying you couldn't address the, the life situations of such people. But, even if it's just a joke, if you're trying to rebuke, and you don't want to create some kind of you know, negative energy within yourself, you have to stay away even from locals, even from people who suffer with the same thing that you suffer with, because energy, attracts itself to you. It'll ignite some of those subconscious thoughts inside your mind. Unless you have a tremendous amount of strength, you should at least be on day 90. I think I'm about. I think when it comes to unnatural desires and stuff, I practically eliminated it. It's about half over, I would say, but it's still a tremendous force. That's why I talk about why you really shouldn't be getting into hentai and all this other type of stuff. Now, unfortunately, for people like Christian and people like Justin RPG, who says that he knows it isn't real, but let's just be realistic. His heart doesn't know that, even if his mind knows that. There's a lot of people who, let's just say, they're attracted to Reshiram or something for some reason. They've been watching porn for so long that Reshiram has become sexual in some way. Well, let me tell you, if this is the case, for a lot of people, not for everybody, but there are people who honestly are not mature enough to realize that this is an addiction because the thing isn't real. You see, people nowadays, they seem to think that even if something isn't real, that if you're sexually attracted to it, it means something about you in some kind of way. And they've fallen into this ridiculous gender ideology where basically whatever you find attractive, these people are chronically online, mostly chronically on Pornhub. These people, they think that if you're attracted to something, this means some kind of deep fundamental fact about who you are. And that's bullshit. It's complete fucking bullshit. It's one of the most destructive beliefs on planet Earth. What you have to realize is that because this thing isn't real, it's an addiction. And you must pull away from it, and you must strive at all costs, to completely destroy and dismantle it. If you're an adept and you've completely overcome this problem, then you probably won't be tempted by, any kind of, sexual energy that comes off through these, locales that vibrate at a very low level. But if you're someone, you do Nofap sort of casually, and you you still got desire and stuff. Even if you're not attracted to something like a Reshiram, you might be reminded of your attraction towards certain things. You see what I'm saying? Because the female figure in every art style is still a female figure, right? Doesn't matter if it's a woman in real life. It doesn't matter if it's an anime woman. It doesn't matter if it's a Reshiram or some kind of disgusting, like furry hybrid or something. It's always got that female figure, you see. And so it's always going to remind you of that thing you're attracted to. Okay. This is another reason why it really makes no sense to come on Christian's comments, constantly, talking about how great you are and how terrible he is and how he's, because really by staying at his level, even if it's to criticize them, you're still picking up some of that energy, you know? And, you might go off after that because that same energy is inside your head, and you might sort of go invest yourself in, you might find some random twerking video and jack off to it or something, right? And this is the reason why, a lot of this stuff about these lolcows and stuff like this constantly, putting these people down. You should uplift these people as much as possible, but you should keep them in check. You shouldn't just let their delusions go AWOL, either, but you shouldn't, constantly focus on what these people do, because what these people do is very destructive. And I just wanted to say that because energy attracts energy, and there's no use in being a hypocrite, Christians might not be right about every damn thing. As a matter of fact, I think 95% of stuff they're not right about. But when it comes to staying away from bullshit, you better listen to what they have to say.